Hi, Tribe. Thank you again for joining me on Airy Herbal, which is really just my name for everything. um, so I decided to go with someone left a comment talking about you. You know who you are. Left a comment about what I should do, and I was like, that is such a great idea. So I'm doing it. So this episode is the winter edition of Mind, Body, and Soul. Um, so I'm going to talk about, um, just things for your wellness, including herbs. Wellness for your mind, body, and soul in the winter time, because our bodies go through a change in the winter time. Sorry about all the mess. I'm really preparing for my African American herbal webinar. I have all this stuff, and I'm also writing a book on sacred feminine wellness from my I gotta stop saying sorry, I'm just not here yet. It's from my Sacred Feminine Wellness webinar. So I'm writing the book on Sacred Feminine Wellness. It's going to be a workbook. So I'm just working on it. It's been taking me forever because I started it and then I couldn't find my outline, and then I found my outline and I'm just completely off my outline. So we'll figure it out. And so I'm doing the African American herbalism webinar. So I'm doing the research for that, which is really, really eye-opening, and it feels really good to do. I'm hoping that it'll be as eye-opening for the people who join as it is for me, because I just feel so much connection with it. And one of the things I'm excited about with it is that once it's done, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is what it's going to become, but at least for me personally, it'll become this, once you put it all down on paper where people can see that there is a system and a belief system among all African Americans, it becomes its own system of wellness. You know what I mean? And we know we have our own system. We know we have our own culture, but it's not really put down as our culture. It's American culture. People say, oh, it's so American. And it's like, yeah, we're Americans. And all that culture is us. That's us, So I'm really excited about putting it all together and showing how it's just ingrained in us without us even trying to ingrain it. It just is, So anyway, we're going to get back to the real thing that we're doing. As you can tell, I'm really excited about it. So I'm really doing some good research on it because it's so important to me that I get this right. So we're going to start with the mind. So when we talk about the mind, what we're talking about is like a depressed mind, because so many people go through seasonal depression, including myself. A solemn, just quieted mind, which is fine. You can be quiet and solemn if you want. It doesn't have to be a negative connotation to that. But that's where your mind is. So you don't want anything that's gonna really mess up your calmness if you are being calm, or that quiet, unless you're the kind of person that needs it to be a little bit messed up. But for the most part, in the winter, it kind of teaches us to just slow down and reflect and stay here. So in the mind, you might have some low energy, so you don't really feel like doing anything. So some of the herbs, I only did herbs with this one. Some of the herbs that are important, as you can see, I wrote them down. They're just sitting right here. Is coffee. I'm drinking coffee right now. It's over there. I'm drinking coffee right now. Coffee, it's, it has this bad connotation because you can become addicted to it. And then you go through the withdrawal, which is really just a headache and irritability, really. But, coffee, when taken correctly, not like going to Starbucks and getting like 700 calories from the coffee. I mean, like regular black coffee, you can add a little milk to it, or almond milk, or whatever you want. And it increases your mood, and it's good for your heart. And it's a bitter, which is why you go poop every time you drink coffee. That and the caffeine and all that stuff. But it is a bitter. It does help with digestion. So coffee is not a bad thing. Especially in the winter months, it's warm and cozy. And if you do like it, of course. It's an acquired taste. And, I worked at Starbucks twice. And so I am obsessed with coffee. I love tea, but it's really hard for me to stay away from coffee. I'm also always been really tired, so even before the coffee. So coffee, it has good uses just as long as you don't abuse it. Like all things, just don't abuse coffee. You know, it has so many benefits. I saw a lot more benefits to it. I wanted to make sure that what I knew was right. There's a lot more benefits to it, but I didn't feel like looking through all the research for all those things. So if you ever have time, go ahead and research the benefits of coffee, because there are so many great benefits of coffee. Reishi and cordyceps mushroom. I just put them together because they're two mushrooms that really help with your immunity. They're anti-tumoral, but you know, like, it's weird when you say that, because people are like, oh, cancer, I'm just gonna take reishi. There are plenty of research on reishi and how it helps get rid of cancer, especially for those who are already going through chemo. I'm not going to be like, yeah, don't go through chemo because you have reishi, but the recovery is way higher with the people who do take reishi along with the chemo. So there's a bunch of research on that. It just depends on where you are, but I recommend everyone just taking reishi at any point. There's a lot of Ganoderma coffee, and reishi is Ganoderma lucidum. I always do that. Lucidum. And because you'll see like Ganoderma coffee, or you know, whatever, that's reishi. That's reishi coffee. So that's good. I've heard some people use cordyceps for that also. Both of them have been shown to give you energy. So I mean, well, I love Ganoderma coffee. I have a friend who sells Organo Gold coffee, and I think it's made with reishi, and I love that coffee. So I every time I get to see her, which I never get to see her anymore, I always get that coffee from her because I love it so much. Ginseng. A lot of people know about ginseng. It does have energizing properties. It also helps your brain kind of wake up, you know, like, because it's sending blood to your brain, it's helping you to like focus and be more alert, and it makes you feel like you have more energy. Ginkgo does the same thing. I gave my mom some ginkgo. She started sprinkling it in everything, which I thought was surprising because I thought ginkgo would be better as a tincture, but she didn't like the tincture. She liked the sprinkles better. So she was just like, I'm awake, you know, so that's what she said. Rhodiola, which is something that people don't really talk about that often, but it is known to give you energy. And I'm talking about these other things for giving you energy because some people don't like coffee. Some people don't want to drink coffee. They don't like the idea of coffee. So here's some other alternatives for that. All of these herbs I'm talking about are warming and energizing. Rhodiola, I think, is from like colder regions. And it's like this root. I haven't actually tasted it. Well, I did taste it a little bit, but I can't quite remember the taste at all. I have some in the house. Probably gonna try it after I finish my coffee, just to see, because my coffee is not gonna do anything. Because you know, addiction is real. Working at Starbucks and having espresso every single day, and then drinking regular coffee is not doing anything for me. But it did help my stomach, and it did help me actually get up there and do this, so I guess it's not so bad. Rhodiola is known for giving energy, and it also has a bunch of other great connotations, like it's wound healing, and it's warming, it's more energizing, and not like, you know, calming. It's not a cold thing, so balancing yourself out in this cold time is going to be really good for you, especially your brain. And then I added on here ashwagandha with astragalus. A long time ago, when I was first starting out as an herbalist, ashwagandha and astragalus were the first things I forgot. I just happened to get it. I was just like, I don't know what these are, but I'm gonna get these and I'm gonna work with these. And so I got them, and then I just had them in my house when I first started my herbal classes. And you know, we were just doing research into some things, and I randomly was researching things for stress relief and mood enhancement, and it was saying astragalus, along with other herbs, can help someone adapt and also increase the mood in someone because it's a boosting herb. And one of the things that they paired it with in order to boost was ashwagandha. So ashwagandha and astragalus, which I just happened to have in my house at the time, together are really helpful in boosting your mood, and they're very warming. At least to me, they're warming. I think to other people, they're probably not, but to me, they are. And they're a little bit bitter to me also. But together they can help you increase your mood for this terrible time. It's not terrible. A lot of people love the winter. I just really don't like to be cold. But for those people who are going through, like depression from the season and stuff like that, it's a really good combination for you. All right, we're into the body. And when we talk about the body, we are talking about sluggishness and the cold. Your body is cold and stiff, because it's cold. That's why hot yoga is so great, because it helps you get more flexible. It warms up the muscles and it helps release a lot of tension. So first thing I put on here is yoga, because I'm a yoga instructor and I'm super biased. But any form of exercise will do to warm up the body and to stretch the body and to reflect and stuff like that. That's not where we're at yet. We'll be there soon, but yoga and any form of indoor exercise. I mean, outdoor exercise is fine too. I know there are people who like to run, but because that form of exercise is building up, and I don't know if it's going to build up endorphins, but it is giving you. Well, yeah, I guess it is building up endorphins. You're making your. I'm not getting the words out. You're giving yourself. You're making your body feel good, and it's making you feel good. That's easiest way to say this. So any form of exercise is going to make you feel better during this time. It's going to make your body feel better, and your body's not really going to want to do much, because in the wintertime it kind of brings us to a place of reflection and slowing down. So yoga is really good because you can move slowly, you can flow through the movements without actually having to do any dynamic exercise. I mean, you can do it, but you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? So and during this time, I think that teas and decoctions, like warm, really toasty drinks with herbs in them, are really helpful in just really calming down your body and just allowing yourself to relax and just take in all the nutrients. So I added teas and decoctions and warm cordials, which I've been having issues with cordials myself because I never really learned about them very much. I mean, I know what they are, but like trying to understand exactly what it is just kind of difficult for me. But anyway, warm cordials is what I'm deciding that this thing is. So I put up a recipe of warm cordials, not warm cordials, just one warm cordial that I'm thinking about making myself today, because I think it's going to be delicious. So it's going to have cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, allspice, the regular stuff, apples, and then brandy, and then water. Add that brandy in there so it can give it a little kick, you know what I mean? So I think that that's a really good warming recipe. It's very wintry, it's kind of cozy, and there's so many benefits to the cinnamon and the nutmeg and allspice. The vanilla is this extract. I only have vanilla extract, but but it tastes really good. So and then apples, all the fiber and stuff that's gonna be in there. It's just gonna be so good, and I cannot wait. And then finally, the soul. So obviously during your soul in the wintertime, there's no specific connotation. We already know what our body's going through, and our soul is connected to our body. So wintertime is a time of meditation and reflection. So meditation is on the list. Just reflect on your abundance, reflect on your blessings, reflect on all the things that are good in your life, because everything has died and not in a bad way. Like, things die and end. Like when you get the death card in tarot, things end so that new beginnings come, new growth can come. It may seem like a bad thing, but in the end of the day, newness, new abundances, better abundances come from the death of something else. So it's time to meditate on the new abundance and the blessing of death, the blessings of endings. So, we're going to release your attachments to those things that are gone and just allow the new blessings to come through. That's what the soul part is. And some of the herbs I think are going to be great for that. Obviously Palo Santo, because I love Palo Santo. To cleanse the air, sage to cleanse the air of old, make everything new, make all the blessings, cleanse all the old energy, provide a new energy for this year. And juniper and pine, obviously during this time, but juniper is known to be a protective and blessing herb. You hang it up on anything and it's supposed to bless your house and protect your house. It's actually almost as sacred as so many things. It's so sacred, juniper. I have a juniper spray that I sent out to lucky people who, it hasn't even come out yet, but they're technically my guinea pigs. But I have a juniper spray that I've recently created, and it smells amazing. It's so good, and I have to make sure I remember what I put in there so I don't forget. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down. But juniper is so protective and cleansing, and it's a great herb for this time, especially of the soul. Pine is also protective. It's one of those elder plants. It's one of those plants that are old and ancient and have so much knowledge. And pine is the kind of plant that's going to come into your life and bring in new knowledge, new things that you need to know. It sees things throughout the years, and it doesn't change. It changes, but that the pine is there, and it's protective and it's strengthening. Pine needle tea. I think I did a thing about pine needle tea a long time ago. Pine needle tea is got so much vitamin C in it that you probably should only drink 1 cup a week. I wouldn't drink more than 1 cup a week of the pine needle tea, but it has so many little benefits. Antioxidant, it's just so good for you. And it would be really great, to burn. I think those evergreen plants, the evergreen plants you can tell when you smell them or you burn them, you can tell that they're protecting you, that they're speaking with you, and they're proud to give to you. You know what I mean? You can feel it. That's why people like the scents of juniper and the scent of pine and all those naturey smells. People love those because they can feel the nurturing aspect of these evergreens. So one of the other things you could do is go outside and communicate with the trees, with the plants. Just go for a walk and listen to them and talk to them and learn from them. It's pretty great. Walking around and talking to the plants, it's a great experience to communicate with nature when you actually finally do. And got me looking out the window. And I think that this is a good way to help boost your mood, because being out in nature typically makes people feel good, even in the cold. So I hope that all of these helpful tips for wellness during the winter time is really helpful for you. And I hope that you liked my video, and so please subscribe and watch another video if you like. Thank you so much for sharing this with me, and I hope that you have an amazing week. Bye.